Hi, I'm Willden.
And I'm Kendelle.
We are
Geeks About Gaming.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Geeks About Gaming. I'm Willden.
And I'm Kendelle. What is up? This week we have for you some VTube stuff, Fall Guys, some games, some 3080 stuff, and the big old mighty PS5.
Oh, PlayStation.
The big old mighty PS5.
That's right, Kendelle, and as I always say every week, what a week it has been.
Every week we start the podcast out all the time saying, man, every week there's something new. And it's like, what can top this week? Maybe next week. And it's true. It always tops. There's always something happening in the industry. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. It's things going on. We knew last week going into it, PlayStation was gonna be a thing, and boy, did not disappoint in all sorts of ways,
Yeah,
for better or worse.
For sure.
As usual, guys, we go into the podcast starting out talking about weekly discoveries, things we've been playing, things of that sort. And Kendelle, I've been playing some stuff this week. I've been playing quite a few varied things this week. Yeah. So let's start talking about the stuff that what everybody's kind of been playing together right now. Actually, at the moment of this recording, because it went up today, that is the Call of Duty Alpha. Yes, if you had watched the PlayStation thing, they announced on there that there was going to be a free Call of Duty Alpha for this weekend, exclusive to PS4 players. You don't even need a PS Plus to play it. And I've briefly played it for about 2 seconds. I've done 3 matches on it. It's not bad so far. It's all right. It's okay. The fact that I killed 2 helicopters and then got like 1 or 2 kills at all in any sort of multiplayer game is a win for me. As usual, you'll be like walking and then you die and you have no idea where it's from, but it does show you like
yeah,
it shows you where the kill was from and who killed you. You're like, oh, come on, he was right there, really, or something like that. And yeah, it's which Kendelle, are you gonna play this at all? I can't remember if you're in a Call of
Duty. 100% I want to play it, but my computer couldn't handle Warzone, and I'm afraid it won't be able to handle this game.
But hey, look at this way. This one's right on the PS4. It's just on the PS4.
That's true.
So you can play it and decide if you want to think about any further past that point.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're like, because if you play the alpha for some reason it's not hitting you, then you don't have to worry about where you buy the game to play it at or anything like that.
Yeah. The thing is, that's so true.
Yeah, it is weird, right? Because you think of like, oh, they're so PC, Xbox, or whatever. For them to have the exclusive thing on PS4, and people are like, oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of dot play and stuff too. They basically have 2 main sets of missions. One's like a death match, and then one's like where you have to capture like it's like A through D, or might even go through F, like several different outposts and stuff like that. I had 3 games, 2 of them I lost, which was one of each kind. The 3rd game my team won, which was, so the levels I played was, the first was the death match, and it was in like Miami, like in a city, and I got destroyed, but it was cool looking. Then there's a snow level where all the outposts and stuff are. I know there's a boat one I haven't played. The last one I played was in the desert. Which it's great because it's a little bit more open. Like there's not as much to hide behind, so that's what made it easier. And yeah, I played it a few more times. I'm probably never gonna buy a game unless it's on PS Plus, like Modern Warfare's been. But yeah, it's all hip and happen right now. All the big streamers are playing it. All the Modern Warfare, current Warfare. I don't know. I get the names confused.
That's
sometimes.
Okay. There's so many of them. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if this is supposed to take place in the other one or this competes with it. I don't know. But yeah, they have like different loadouts and characters and experience and things you can get and things like that. So if you try to like leave the game like I did, like it's one of those things with those games I'm still not used to, that if I don't leave the lobby right away, I get like called into the next game.
Yeah.
And because that happened to me in the second game, and I was like, oh crap, start a new game. I was like, no, I don't want to do that, but I don't want to play this. And then so I left like a jerk, but it was like, we're not gonna bang you or anything, but you're gonna lose experience points and stuff like that. I'm like,
yeah.
fine.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was playing that. And then other stuff, it was sort of a discovery in a sense, in a way. It's a game I'd heard of before called A Way Out.
Okay.
I played the game for the first time with somebody else. And it was made by the guy that made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. He's also director. He was also very famous for the Gaming Awards, where he said F the Oscars and things like that, and went on a big tangent. And the person that I played with played it before, but it's been a while. And you know what? I knew it was a co-op sort of story-based thing, but I didn't know what it was. But I gotta tell you, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It's not super long, but long enough. It has varied gameplay. There's some stealth. There's some action. There's some car chases. It gives you samples of a little bit of everything. And it's when you get stuff like that, usually that means they're all like mediocre if you don't get, focused on one specific thing. But they're all pretty decent and average. There's one or two really cool sequences that they do with the camera where they go back and forth with the characters and all that. So yeah, I didn't realize like that was the experience I was getting. So I highly recommend people try Way Out with somebody if they've never played it before. It's definitely worth doing it. It's pretty solid. It's pretty good.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And then the last thing I've been playing, Kindle, is I found down the rabbit hole. I was on another streamer's channel, and they showed me a site where you can play some older stuff and things like that that you can't really get anywhere else. And I've been able to revisit some stuff, and I've been playing the Harry Potter games now, which is a topic we'll get to later. But so I had the first game on the PC, but I never finished it, and I finally was able to get and refinish it. But there's also a PS2 version that I never played of the first one. And it's weird because if you ever played the PS2 of the second one, which is what I did, I went from console from there on. It was only the first one that was PC. It's like a weird amalgamation of the two. It has part things from the PC, and it takes parts of it that are very similar to the second one. It's a very interesting experience. It's something new to have on a game like you missed out on or never got to play. So I'm enjoying that. So I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're literally all over the place.
That's how I roll. I play 80 games at one time.
No, I'm not. I'm literally doing these same games that I wasn't able to play for a couple of weeks, which is Fall Guys and Among Us. I am playing still a little bit of Rogue Company. I feel like I'm getting so good at Rogue Company, but only for the first hour I play it. Every hour after that, I just suck. I just don't know what happens. I just keep dying now, and I just can't even get a hit on someone. I don't know. It's my fingers. They can't play Rogue Company for more than an hour.
Oh, are you doing mouse and keyboard?
I do mouse and keyboard.
That's why. Yeah, don't get angry at me, all you PC Master Race people.
Yeah, but those are just the 3 games I've been playing, and I'm just trying to get my fill on Among Us and Fall Guys since I wasn't part of that bandwagon when they first came out. Yeah.
Nice catch up. I still haven't played season 2 of Fall Guys yet. As a matter of fact, Kendall, you want to just tell us have you played? So you played some Fall Guys season 2 already, or the new update? I mean, season 2 is not out yet, but like the new update.
Yeah, so I have played the new update of Fall Guys, and it is so fun. And I don't know if it's so fun because we've been used to what they've given us for so long, and by so long I mean like a month and a half. But like,
but everybody's been playing long enough, it feels like it.
It's just the right amount of different that makes you want to go back in and continue playing it for hours on end. But,
and then there's like Big Yeetus in there and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
So there's Big Yeetus. He's a big yeet hammer that just appears randomly throughout the maps and in different positions, random positions. It could harm or help you depending on its randomization. So that's fun. They added some like more fruit to some maps instead of just like regular balls. They like changed some rotators, and like it's just slightly different enough, and I'm into it.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. I have
Yeah.
to check it out. I haven't checked out on either system yet, so
Yeah, I think you
that's
like
good.
it. I like it.
Nice. Yeah, it's one of those things. Again, it's like the last time I played it was on the PlayStation for a hot second, and then try to go back and forth here or there. But yeah, that's good. So it seems like general. I mean, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it since it's been out because there's been all this other stuff going on. But
Oh
I haven't
yeah,
heard
for sure.
anybody like go on a tangent and rant of hating it or anything.
No, actually, everyone pretty much likes it, and they're super excited for season 2, which we actually don't really know when the official launch is. We're just assuming on the path that they've been on, it's going to be first week of October. Yeah, and there's a trailer out there. There's photos, there's some gameplay, and everything is cuter, more Wipeout-y, and a lot honestly it looks like a lot more chaotic.
Yeah, you have to like build things together and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, cool. That's very exciting though that's coming along.
Oh, for sure, it really is.
Yeah, I might play. I might play some today actually.
Me too.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, we should play that.
We should.
But yes, Fall Guys. Yes, Fall Guys is still going. Among Us, people are still playing that. That's still a thing that I've seen. You know, the meme videos, more memes recently. Yeah, it's a fun game.
There's so many memes coming out with just a collaboration of Among Us and Fall Guys, and everyone's saying how the two biggest games of the summer just has to do with bean people.
Yep. Yep. It's the beans, man. It's the beans.
It's smart. I like it. I'm into it.
Yeah. No. It's very yeah. I'm curious to see what's gonna be like a year from now.
Really, for sure. Like, is this gonna be as big as it is a year from now? Even by the end of 2020, you think?
I don't. You know what, Kendall? I don't know, because if anything tells us between its PlayStation conference and stuff like that, next year for games and film, and I might have even said this last thing, it's gonna be packed.
Oh, 100%.
It's gonna be so packed between carryovers.
Yes.
So I don't know.
It's gonna be quite insane.
It's gonna be crazy. If it survives for that, that means that game really achieved something.
Yeah.
Right?
So true.
It's really achieved something. You know, they announced for the Switch, Monster Hunter, not one, two Monster Hunter games for the Switch is a thing, and that's important for a lot of people that are Monster Hunter fans. I'm not one of them. I tried it on paper. I know you'd think I would like it, but I used to be such a big Monster Hunter fan. I was like trying to level up. I was leveling up with people who are higher level with me, and they were just like carrying me through the levels. I tried to get all like the inside scoop, all like the Easter eggs, and like going online, seeing what the best weapons are, how to get the best weapons. I was in it. I was in that community for so long. And then why'd you leave? You just got burnt out, or?
Honestly, I left because I moved to a different house and no longer had a public PS4. And by public, I mean it's no longer in the living room. It's in someone's room. So I just couldn't pick it up again because I didn't have anything to play it on. And then then they put it on PC, and I was like, yes, it's back. And then I was back in it for a little bit. And then I don't know. I kind of stopped once I got to like a high level and didn't have anyone else to play with.
Yeah, again, it seemed like this last one, this world was like the one that grabbed people that wasn't into it before. It's like if you weren't gonna get into it here, you're not ever gonna get into it. I know. Yeah, I mean, you've been to conventions. They always have like that big dragon thing at the convention. These little tiny little characters, and like I think the first time I heard of Monster Hunter was relates to the DS, which I'm about to talk about. And there was a Monster Hunter game for the either 3DS or the DS, and that was the first I'd heard of it. And then they were talking about that, and then other ports, and then it's like, oh, they're making this big console one, and now it's kind of going back to that handheld market.
Which is smart.
Yeah, so they have like Rise, they have like this like RPG 2 thing coming out, coming next year. And like nobody saw this coming. Yeah, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. And they'll be compatible with one another, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a good move to make just because, like the whole Switch was, out of stock and out of order and not out of order, out of stock and, sold out everywhere. And it's just like the move to make because everyone now owns a Switch. Everyone and their mothers has a Switch for themselves. So might as well move to it. Except for me, too. I just can't afford that.
Well, I'm kind of like waiting out now on that Pro. Although 3D All-Stars came out, people seem to be liking that. And you can still technically pre-order the physical. I know it was out for a second, but now it's back out. So I'm debating on whether to get it or not. Just in case, because I know it's limited.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm still honest, and it's weird because I never do that. But yeah, so the Monster Hunter Rise is gonna come out in March, and the other one's gonna come out in summer. It looks pretty good, and yeah, it's a good Switch game to have. It's a good game where it's like you have to like loot and find things, so that makes a lot of sense. Again, like there's one person I can think of. She like plays it like whenever she streams. That's almost all she plays is Monster Hunter. It's just
wow. That's me though.
Yeah, it's people get into it, man. It's crazy. And yeah, speak of DS, we have to give a moment of silence. RIP to the 3DS has passed on into another realm. So if you have a 3DS and you have fond memories of it, hold on to it, cherish it.
Hold on to it.
Because it's gone. And that's another sign, too, right? That's the other big sign where people are like, well, this Pro's got to be a thing because they're retiring to 3DS. That's it. Like, it's inevitable.
But hold on to it for a long sake because you never know when something becomes rare, becomes a rarity, and you could sell it.
Yep. Yeah, like this Mario 3D, that's All-Star thing for the Switch. Worst case scenario, I could hold on to it for a couple years, and you never know. And it's, again, like, I had, the NES, N64, there was the N64 is the last Nintendo console I've ever had. I had a Game Boy Color, I had an Advance.
Yep, yes.
And then, after that, I hadn't had any Nintendo thing for, 5 or 6 years at least. Then I went to college.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple people that were into playing Pokemon and all this stuff, so I ended up getting a 3DS. And then after a while, for a few years, I played a Pokemon or two and stuff like that. Then ended up selling it back. The only thing I screwed up on with that 3DS, and I can't remember if I told this story before, but I might have, is I remember G4 at New York Comic Con. It was the last thing they did before they shut down almost. And I remember I had my Android phone and I was taking photos with stuff, and I got photos with Underwood and Chopin and all that, and all them photos on my phone. But the last ones I had to get photos with both Blairs, Blair Herter and Blair Butler, and my phone died. And I couldn't figure out what to do or whatever, so I had my 3DS, and it's the only photo I ever took with the 3DS. Unfortunately, when I took it back, I don't think there was any way I saved the photo or could have saved it. So I lost that photo forever, but that's the main story I got out of that. 3DS.
Yeah.
Did you have a 3DS or any handhelds?
I did. I had a 3DS that was that purple case, but it was also see-through.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it wasn't completely see-through, but it, I don't know, it was just a slightly bit transparent, but also purple. And that's the only one I had. But my sister had all the colors. She was all about grabbing every color. Honestly, my purple transparent one might have been a hand-me-down from her.
That doesn't surprise me. That
right? Yeah,
it seems like a.
Mm-hmm. The older sister getting the cool stuff, and then me getting the hand-me-downs. Whatever.
Hand-me-down. Yeah, well, too bad. It's not like you had to pay for it super expensive for it.
Yeah.
consoles. Like, heaven forbid. Yeah, I just had the regular one. And it was weird, right? Because they're like, oh, here's the 2DS. And you're like, isn't that just a DS?
No, yes.
That plays 3DS games?
And there was like the slight difference of like what games you can play on it, but not really.
And it was that same time where it's like Wii U. It's like, what are y'all doing? I'm so confused.
Dude, the Wii U, I think, was the most confusing time for me because, like, there was the Wii and then the Wii U, but then you had a screen here and then you had a screen there, but then that screen controlled the other screen. And it was like, wait, what does the Wii U do?
And parents are like, oh, this add-on thing? No, it's a different console. What?
No, completely different.
Oh, gosh, that was a weird time. But yeah, 3DS is gone, which means I think the only, like, there might be a 2DS or two, but, like, that's kind of the end of the DS era, Kendall.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's so sad.
That's, like, the end of, like, handhelds as we know it. I mean, the Switch is, like, the combo. It's like, will we ever see like that? I don't know.
I don't know if we would. End. I think that's definitely the end. I don't see them ever bringing it back for some reason, except for nostalgic reasons, maybe. But, like, I don't know. There's no, it's gone. And you should just hold on to yours as long as you can.
Yep. Between that and the PSP and the PS Vita.
Ooh, they were so ahead of their time. All of those were so ahead of their time.
I know. And if you ever watch anything Greg Miller does, you know, he says, like, the Vita was, like, the greatest thing in the history of mankind.
We like, took advantage of, like, we didn't take advantage of it, you know?
Yep.
When we should have.
We didn't appreciate it while we had it.
We did not appreciate it. And here we are with, let's just, like, everyone has Switches with different colored handles and, like, trying to spice up their Switch, and the PSP and the PS Vita just sitting on the side, just thinking that's what they could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, really, the only thing left, like, Switches hanging in there with the cartridges, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Still hanging in there with that.
Woo!
Yeah,
Good
so
times.
Man, what a week. We've lost that on top of everything else. And also too, Cyberpunk 2077, they had a new I almost said Hyperscape. Nice. I don't know why I want to say that. Nice Day Livewire thing, episode 3. I caught the tail end of it. They will have another episode coming up, actually, as a matter of fact. But a couple things out of that is one, we could say I don't know if a fan favorite, but a favorite personality, host, journalist of the industry, Miss Alana Pierce, has confirmed that she's in the game as a character. They modeled after her. She did voice work for it and things of that sort. She's super hyped about it. That sounds really cool. It seems like she's more around, you're going to be able to run into her easier and have way higher chance if you go you start on the outskirts and work into the city, instead of being a character that starts in the city and working outside, because she's hanging around out there.
Yeah.
But that's pretty daggone cool. She's been holding that in for a while.
Yeah, dude, I'm surprised of how long it's been. And that was a good reveal, too.
Yeah, and then she did, like, some of the pre- and post-show stuff for it. And yeah, that's awesome. And they announced the specs. They announced official specs for those of you who are all the PC master race, worry about your PCs, making the meme jokes about spending $10,000 to be able to play this on PC. Well, you might not have to, depending on what you have. Your PC might be able to handle it, at least. Different requirements, like, at minimum, you get, Intel Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM. You just need the 780, 3 gigabytes.
Yep.
They recommend SSD, but HDD work. The recommended requirements, you need a i7, 12 gigs of memory, GeForce 1060. Overall, Kendall, not too shabby.
It's not too bad. Yeah, I'm into it. I don't think I'm gonna do it myself, but I'm into it.
Yeah, considering how big the game is and stuff like that, like, the internet is very surprised they were talking about optimization. This is how you do it. How did you do it? Kendall. Here's the thing. So technically, I think I could get away with this minimum.
Yeah.
But do you really want to do minimum? Do you really? Is that the route you really would want to
That's
be at?
very, very true. You technically don't. You
As a
want the full
PC master
experience.
race, you're not gonna want the minimum.
No, I don't. I want the full thing. But like the thing is, money, Wilden. Money.
Yeah, I had the intention of getting this for the PS4. And then I was like, oh, minimum. I was like, I meet the minimum. And I thought about it for a second.
And you're like, if you're playing at the minimum requirements that it can be, it's just not gonna be as pretty. It's not gonna play as nice. I mean, it's gonna play nice, but like, you're not gonna get the full effect that everybody else could get.
Right, and it's like I don't want to. I mean, eventually, right? You always want to upgrade your PC and stuff like that, and things of that sort. But again, you're right. As we're about to talk about here with this RTX 3080 thing or whatever, it costs a penny, right? It costs even more than the consoles do.
Ooh, a nice, pretty penny.
Yeah, and I know it's like. So, and at the end of the day, I think we'll stick with my original plan, where I'm gonna just get the game digital. I was originally gonna get on disc, by the time we get digital, and then just upgrade to the PS5 for free, and I'll live with that,
Boom, easy,
yeah.
easy peasy.
So we got the specs though, but for most people are like, oh, you know what, I might be able to make this work. So again, play it how you want to play it. All the real gamers gonna play on PC because that's what real gamers do, apparently. But I'll be definitely playing it on the stream through the PS4, and
I get you. I'm gonna get it. I want it, but as soon as I have the money for it.
Yeah. That's an issue right now for sure. But speaking of please. Speaking of computers.
Oh my gosh.
My good heavens.
Okay.
Woo! The RTX 3080 pre-order thing. So we talked about last stream how it got announced and how fancy smanchy it was. Since our last podcast, it came out with reviews for it, and they're like, yes, it is as fancy and as fancy as they said. It's pretty daggone good.
Yep.
And the pre-orders went live, and what happened, Kendall?
It was sold out literally that day.
Like, what was it, like 10 minutes less than that?
It was pretty much. Literally, they released it at 9 a.m. And then not even like 5 minutes later, all major online stores were sold out in the US. Insane. This baby goes for $699. And that sold out in less than 5 minutes. Some people say, it sold out in seconds, which I do believe, but also like, can the internet, handle that? Maybe, but I'm gonna chop it up at a few minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes. It's and people have been talking about Kindle. I think and this is gonna be about the PlayStation, we'll talk about later, because this is also a factor with the pre-orders too. But especially with RTX, it was a prime example of bots, right? So they have these people buy bots, and then they resell it for a higher price.
Yes. So basically on eBay, people were selling the RTX 3080 for upwards of $8,000, and people were not having it. So you can actually buy bots for eBay to up the price, to bid on it. But since they're bots and there is no card attached to them, no one's going to pay for it, which means they have to take away the listing. Or someone just has to press buy it now, which no one's going to do that. No one's going to buy this for $2,500. You know what I mean? So doing this kind of it helps people who are reselling, for sure. It fixes that issue. If we do it enough, then the less and less people will resell for a higher price online. And that's where all the bots are coming from. People say they're very into this scheme because it brings it back to the actual retailers and actual commendable, credible websites other than eBay. Because sometimes you see it on eBay, you buy it, you don't get what you get, So that's the thing that's happening.
So are you for this whole bot thing? Are you because you know, and for people who are like getting all these pre-orders, they're not the biggest fan of these bots. They complain. They're like Newegg was the main one for this RTX thing, and they're like, yeah, whatever. We're trying to fix it and stuff like that, and then everybody is like, take it down for you know.
Yeah. I see what everyone's trying to do, but don't you just like it's like almost like they're trying to stall or something, or they're just angry that they couldn't get in line fast enough, or like they're being really the people are being really silly about it, because you know what Nvidia's trying to do is just trying to sell their product and get it in the hands of like people who actually want to buy it, and these people who are buying these bots are just getting in the way. But the thing is, this is where it gets a little controversial. The bots do help the wholesale of the process in the long run. It in the long run, though, I do have to say that I have to emphasize in the long run.
How long of a run?
Really, really, really long. If we do this enough, then we could, weed out the people who try to buy bulk and then resell it at a higher price because it just won't work because of all these bots. I get that. But that's going to take a lot of effort from a lot of people for a long amount of time.
So are you potentially saying, Kendall, that half these people are whining complaining are the same people that would just resell it anyway to try to make
Actually,
profit?
100%. These people whining and complaining are the ones trying to resell it. I mean, I've seen Twitter posts where they're saying they bought bots themselves because they were upset that they couldn't buy two to resell one of them. Like that they're all over the internet. But I'm just saying, if you do this long, I know it's very controversial to say, but if you do this long enough, we might not have resellers as often.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one thing everybody's gotta have an opinion on it, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's wrong. Like, you shouldn't do it. You should just buy it yourself and not try to make profit off of it, But
and again, too, it's like the thing with like this, and then a little bit of PlayStation 2. It's like it's not the Mario thing where it's gonna be for a limited time. They're gonna have more in stock.
Yes.
It's just
I'm sorry you couldn't get the first run.
Yeah, the first second, like right now. It's like, heaven forbid, just calm down. There'll be more in stock. Yeah, they'll sell again instantly, but eventually down the road,
Yeah.
they want your money. Don't worry. They'll make sure to get it somehow.
They want your money.
Yeah, it's like, heaven forbid. Oh, here, take my money. That meme is just...
Yeah, it's the Futurama.
Oh, no.
Take my money.
Sorry, don't know what to tell you. Just especially some of that praise. Yeah, I remember seeing a Twitter, I can't remember the person's name, about them, and they were like waiting in line, and there was like 15 other people that were waiting in line somewhere. It might be like a Micro Center or something, and they were like, oh, they only have like 15 or 16 people. And, and then they were like, oh, I'm like the 15th person in line, but people can still show up. That's the thing that still drives me nuts, too, is when people are like, oh, they only say this amount, but I'm going to still stand here anyway. And it depends, too, on what it is. Sometimes they'll say that to, like, clear people out or whatever, especially at cons. I love that at cons where people are like, you're like, get out the line, or whatever. And then the people just still get there and like, don't stand around. And people said, and then, then you have to like sort of lie, but tell the truth in a way. Cause it's technically true. You're like, fire hazard, get the hell out the way, or whatever.
So funny.
And you're like, see, look, the guy's coming to yell at us right now. And then, but you're,
Oh, I miss the con.
And then all the con people are like, I see what you're doing. You're not fooling me, you asshole. And then it's this constant pull and disrespect amongst everybody. Is wonderful.
But everyone in line is also watching the scene go down, and they're like, the hell is going on?
Yep, and they're like, haha, I'm in line. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, they're like, aha, I'm in line for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they'll get to play it. They chill and they make friends, and so
exactly. You chill and you make friends around you. It's the same thing. Same thing, except online, but you don't make friends. You're just in line for 3 hours alone, staring at your computer screen.
refreshing, and then you refresh, and it's like, oh, and then you get the old notification on the Twitter and email, oh, pre-sales are up 10 minutes after it's sold out.
You're like, what? I've been in line for 3 hours.
It's cute. I know what that's like. I tried to get Blackpink tickets last year. I know what that was like.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I got twice tickets, and I ended up not going because I had to cancel it for some reason or whatever. Sell them back, which sucks.
Yeah.
But Blackpink, I didn't even get a chance to get tickets.
I tried with Blackpink. And I had like different screens up, and I had friends who didn't even care about Blackpink, but I was like, please do this for me. And we got in line, and then none of us got anything.
Yeah, the equivalent I could think of was trying to get tickets for Comic-Con. That was the only experience I had that was very similar to that. It's like getting Comic-Con tickets. And
same thing.
My coworkers, we were trying, like, some of my coworkers trying to get tickets too. There was like 4 or 5 of us. Nobody got nothing. Even twice, it took a while, and I didn't get the best seats, but at least I had seats, But Blackpink just... The forum, man, I tell you. But that's a tangent that we're going on for about.
Oh my god,
topics.
Yeah, this is not even about the gaming
different
world.
Podcasts, yeah. Well, although we didn't mention this, Blackpink's doing something with PUBG, so that's a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something we could talk about as soon as we get more information.
Yeah, but that's the thing they announced. So that was been happening.
Kind of insane.
Kind of crazy, yeah. PUBG, it's like, really? That's a little, okay, all right.
Oh, before we talk about PlayStation, I actually want to talk about VTube.
VTube. This VTube. Okay, can you explain what this VTube thing is?
Yes.
How long it's been around, and how long all of a sudden people are just realizing, and it's upset, even though it's been around for a while.
Yes. Okay, so VTube is a category on YouTube and on Twitch and other streaming platforms. Mixer, rest in peace. Facebook. You'll get there one day, Facebook gaming. Basically,
you can play music on there, though.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, it's just virtual YouTubers, virtual streamers, virtual tubers, as you may say. They've been around for a really, really long time, and it's actually not too small of a community, but small enough to where that is their niche. They are known to be a VTuber. Basically, it's not the actual person in front of you in a screen. It's a animated virtual 3D model of whatever they want it to be. Usually, this is for people who don't want to show their face. Sometimes these people have VTubes for a long time with the goal of having a face reveal. Sometimes they just never have a face reveal, and it's just forever this 3D model. It is now making its way to mainstream streaming. It is becoming mainstream, which means big influencers in the gaming industry are picking it up, which is something not a lot of people like. Pokimane was one of those people who did it the week it was trending, and she got a lot of negative feedback. As you know, I love apparently talking about Pokimane every week.
Every episode. We need to get her on a podcast.
I know, right? But it's not just her. A lot of people who are up there, who are big, decided to take, a stab at VTubing. They properly went through the proper channels. They paid the artists fairly and equally, and they just, were doing it for fun. But the community felt like they were taking away this niche from the actual community. They felt like if this became mainstream and people like Pokimane did it, then it would give the recognition to the wrong people. Because not a lot of people knew about VTube until it started trending this week. And there are some main names in VTube that are kind of just being, unfortunately, swept under the rug, not on purpose, just because, they're being replaced by someone with 100,000 viewers,
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, so there are people who are saying, let them just try it because it's a trend. And then other people are saying, no, let people have their niche. Let people have their own community without other people forcing themselves in it and potentially stealing away viewership. Yeah, and that's
Yep, I know that feeling too.
yeah, and that's where VTube is at right now, and it's still trending on Twitch and Facebook, and it's mostly trending on Twitch right now. A lot of people are still looking for artists to create 3D models for them. People are offering their services. This is a great thing for these artists, for these illustrators, for these 3D modelers, because they get work, they get recognition, and more recognition, more work, more money, more power. I'm kidding, but I don't know. It depends what side of the coin you're on, if there
So
even
you're
should be
saying
sides.
So you're saying, like, if, like, from the artist's perspective, they're like, I'm not as upset about this because I get a chance to create more stuff and make more money.
Yeah, they get more work and their name out there, especially if someone like Pokimane does it. But for the people who are VTubers themselves, most of them feel like they have to gatekeep VTuber, which is a terrible term to say for this, because, like, I personally think we should share communities and there shouldn't be, like, I don't think anyone should gatekeep anything, because, like, we're all one big community and we should accept each other. But is it because someone as big as Pokimane is doing it? Is it Pokimane herself? There was some tweets going around saying that if someone smaller and male still, like, partner did it, they probably wouldn't get as much heat as Pokimane is. I don't know. There's so many things on this. There's so many, like, pathways you can go down, whatever you want to read about, but there's a lot of opinions out there just on VTubing.
I mean, look, if over time, as a person who's streamed a while, if I learned anything, I've learned that there's no set formula to how to achieve success in streaming. There's all this advice people give you, but there is no linear path. That doesn't exist. And that was for certain to me when I randomly came across a VTube channel that was a Fox that was partnered. And I'm like, a CGI Fox can get partnered, but I can't. That's to say, there's no order to the system. It's all chaos and chaotic and craziness.
Yeah, I get you.
And I felt like more recently I've seen more VTube channels, but they've been around for a while. There's a lot smaller ones where it's like a little anime girl or this or that or things like that. I personally have no issues with it as a thing existing. I think it's kind of cool or silly. Me personally, I would get to be cool to try once, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm gonna have somebody like fully CGI me in that, I want to be in a video game.
Yes.
At that point,
yes.
Like, I don't want that just for the stream.
I mean, some people create a character and then they play that character as they stream, and that is also a lot of VTubing culture. But some people are saying that Pokimane just created herself and is just using the trend to, become trendy.
I mean, it depends.
VTubing
right?
is like whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, and we don't know. I mean, again, business works,
Mm-hmm.
Her manager, she might have whispered something to her about and be like, oh, this is a trending thing. It's a business. You gotta keep yourself relevant. You might want to try this out. But again, at the same time, did she really need to do it? No. But, I think it could be a little bit of that, but it could be more at the end of the day, her being like, well, I like this. I want to try it out anyway and just see. Again, that's the thing, right? It's like, there's always going to be this cost that has to be paid, and people are not going to like it, but that's the thing. It's dirty, it's ugly, that's how the business
especially
works.
If you're that high in the food chain, you're going to get so many mixed opinions, and you just kind of have to go with your gut, which is what she's doing. She's going with her gut.
Again, at the end of the day, it's all the viewers and stuff that watch to have the control, so y'all gotta just yell at each other. Don't yell at the person.
Yes. Ultimately, I see it as a good thing because it just gets the community out there. It gets people interested in it, and people who haven't known about this community and the artists get, more limelight, and I don't know. It's just I think it's pretty cool. I'm
I
into
mean,
it.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm surprised it hasn't been bigger a lot sooner with, like, you got Hatsune Miku and stuff like that, and she's, like, pretty
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
So you think,
That's mostly where it came from.
right? And so,
Yeah,
like, you would think that would have, like, made it bigger a lot faster, I feel like, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I have no problems with it. I think it's, like, a neat little idea sort of thing.
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It's one of those. I don't know. I almost wonder if there should be, like, some different set of rules set up for that, or if it's okay that it's a free for all. Like, I have to compete against a CGI character.
Yeah.
That's the reality we live in.
I mean, technically, streaming is a free for all, and then you're just finding your little niche and community. Like, you and I are like podcast community. You know what I mean? But like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Just because, like, let's say Ninja starts a podcast, like, does that take away from our podcast? I don't know. I think it just gets more people to listen to podcasts.
I guess. Well, it depends, right? Because, yeah, I guess more people listen to podcasts, I guess. But then it's like, if one person listens to us or his, and they have to make the decision of the day because we're talking about the same stuff, you're not going to want to listen to two podcasts.
That's true. But the thing is, Pokemon is not going to become an official VTuber, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And then I know she had her own podcast. I don't even know if she's still doing it or she does it once in a while or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of
So
thing.
this is just like a whole mess of things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Also, I'm just gonna let you know, like, I froze for like 2 seconds, but I'm back. It was just like a second. Okay. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, this VTube thing, it's it just became a hot thing. People got mad about, and I'm like,
yeah,
really? Should we had this argument like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, whatever. It's crazy. But Kendall, and even bigger than that, the big news story is our boys PlayStation Sony. As you know, I told y'all last week that we are going to talk about this week, and now we're going to talk about it. There's a lot more to it than even I expected to talk about it.
Just a little bit.
It's what we would call our hot topic, and there's several hot topics within this hot topic. I would say, Kendall.
Yeah. There's like hot topics inside this hot topic.
Inside a hot
100%.
topic. So, guys, how we're going to do this is we're going to go over the bases. We're going to start off at the beginning. We're going to talk about the conference and kind of go over stuff like that. Then we're going to talk about part 2 to the story, which is a pre-order.
Yes.
This Wasteland War Battle Fiasco sort of thing. Okay. So let's start us off beginning. It started off pretty well. The first half of the story is pretty nice with this conference thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They come out swinging. They're like, okay, we're going to show you games, stuff like that.
Yes,
right away,
are.
Final Fantasy 16.
Woo!
Bam.
They're like, boom, you love Final Fantasy? I'm going to smack you in the face with Final Fantasy 16.
16. And I know the fans of 14 online are jumping up and down in glory. They're like, please let this be connected. It has to be connected because of the crystals, and it looks like the thing and the thing and the thing and the this and that. They're all freaking out. A little more traditional Final Fantasy, especially with the mention of the crystals. A little more fantasy, old school based. We haven't had like a main entry franchise that's like this since probably 12, I think. It doesn't look the best, but that's okay. It doesn't look it looks a little more current than next, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be on PC as well. But supposedly they were saying it's console. They said it was console exclusive, but then now you're hearing stuff that that might not necessarily be true. There's a lot of things with where the games are going to be that's also part of this controversy. But Kendall, Final Fantasy 16, what's your thoughts on this?
You know what? I didn't like play Final Fantasy myself, but I'm just like the type to sit next to you to watch you play it because it's just like one long movie for me. I'm into it still. I like it.
I'm definitely gonna hop into it. I like that they're carrying over. It seems like hopefully
yes,
the Final Fantasies from now on are gonna be just straight up Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 15 remake hack and slash. I'm all about that if they want to stick with that instead of the turn-based crap. Not that I got anything that's turn-based. I still play turn-based. My favorite Final Fantasy is also turn-based. I'm not totally against that. But for me, as somebody easier to get through the game, like Final Fantasy 7, I could definitely use that. Yeah, you can. It looks like each Aeon's to a specific character, which is also interesting. I like that as well. Coming out next year or 2022, I can't remember. It's coming in soon though. I mean, there was rumors that they might announce something related to it, but I don't think anybody expected like this much coming in, right? Because we know they're all working on Remake 2 and stuff like that, so maybe we thought we might see more of that before, but yeah, it's happening. Coming in hot with that. Then they come in hot again with Miles Morales. They showed more footage, gameplay.
I thought they would start off with Miles Morales, or maybe make it last. I don't know. I didn't like. I thought Spider-Man was gonna be like the big one that everyone was going to talk about, which it is one of them. Everyone's excited for it. It's awesome. It will include a remastered version of Spider-Man for $70 too, if you want that. It's like a deluxe edition. It looks great.
Yeah, I know there's that video trending about the dude seeing the Puerto Rican flag and how important that is, and that dude crying, and you feel it.
Yes.
The Tinker's is either the villain or a villain, which is interesting, and it's also a female Tinker, which we've never had before.
So that's really exciting. It's just like a video game that hits all the spots right now in diversity.
Oh yeah, and the music, that beat drop though,
so good. I wouldn't expect anything less from it, you know?
Yeah, it's great. It's gonna be a smaller title. I don't know if it's like bigger or like the same or longer than Uncharted Lost Legacy, but that's why they're giving you that. Also, they confirmed, again, a lot of this information is after the conference, which was weird, but it's also going to be on PlayStation 4 as well, and you'll be able to get free upgrade if you get on PlayStation 4. But yeah, you can also get that and a remaster on PlayStation 4 as well. And and since we're talking about Kindle, we've learned too with a lot of the prices and stuff.
Yes,
it's pretty much confirmed. $70 is gonna be the new price point for these games. All these next gen ones.
It kind of makes sense, because it's a new generation console.
We've had 2 generations at 60, so it sucks. But although I'll say though, like, it's 70 for the controller though. Okay. All right. But yeah. And they announced peripherals and headphones and stuff like that too.
Yeah, but if you want it, you want it. You're gonna get it.
Yeah. I'll probably get with the remaster because I was thinking of rebuying the first one again anyway. So I might as well just pay the $70 for the deluxe version. So why not? You get like a couple new costumes and stuff, which is nice. And then they came in, this is one of the main hot topics here. Is the hot topic. Is they finally, after years of waiting,
years of begging,
years of waiting, years of leaks a couple years ago, and then nothing, finally unveiled the Harry Potter RPG, which is a game that takes place in the 1800s-ish or so. It's at Hogwarts. It fully seems to be open world. At least you could go outside of Hogwarts too. They showed a brief bit of gameplay. Supposedly it's kind of around the time Dumbledore's a student, so you may or may not run into him. It's like you create your own character, make what you want with it, whatever house you want. Basically, the game we've always wanted. But
we can't. Should we buy it?
Depending on who you are, this might be an issue.
This is an issue.
People are split. People are so torn over this, and I totally get it. I totally get why.
To catch you up, if you don't know why this is an issue or could be an issue for you, is because J.K. Rowling.
After so many years, I just go back and forth. You'd think after 20-some years we would know, but yeah.
I need to know right now.
I say
J.K. Rowling.
People say Rowling, I say Rowling, but
pronunciation. How to pronounce?
Sometimes I'll say J.K., sometimes I'll say Joan. Sometimes I'll just say Joan to make it easier.
Oh, it's rolling. It's rolling. She said it's in a video where it's rolling.
Okay.
But everyone says it's Rowling, which is why. Okay, so for the people who are just listening in, I hope you've been here. It's been about an hour.
For those of you turning in right now, you're like, oh wait, Harry Potter. This is gonna be interesting.
So, for the people wondering why this could be an issue, is because the creator, the founder, the thinker, the maker of the Harry Potter franchise, J.K. Rowling, is so problematic. She's apparently transphobic, homophobic. She's gender phobic. Like she's all the phobics of all kinds, man.
Yeah, Dumbledore was gay, which she had to address after the fact, but that's a whole nother argument.
Yeah, she kept making all these allegations of her own franchise, which we allowed her to do because it's her franchise, after she made the franchise by stating a lot of facts. And then she started getting into some, like, politics, and she was like, man, there's no such thing as transgender. And then everyone's like, what the fuck? And she's like, if you're born a woman, then you're a woman. You'll never know what it's like to be a man, and you'll never know what it's like to. She's just making a lot of problematic statements right now.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to get too much into it because this is a gaming podcast, and I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. Yes. But basically, the fact of the matter is, it's basically to kind of sum up short and sweet. She said something that she has a belief that whether you agree or not, she has the right to have the belief, but it's kind of dumb and stupid. And then what she would do is that people got mad. Then she would try to re-explain it to try to get people understand. And then that made it worse. And then made more people angry. And then she would try to re-explain that. And so basically it was her constantly bringing up things to try to explain her point. And the further she did it, the worse it got. And she keeps digging her own hole.
And then now people are saying
she didn't have to. She did it to herself.
She did this to herself. So I'm here to say that Warner Bros. Is reassuring everyone that J.K. Rowling isn't involved with this Harry Potter game. However, Harry Potter is her IP, which means she will get some of the profit because they need to buy this IP off of her. Depending on what kind of contract they have with her, whether they bought the IP off of her like just for the game, or whether they're giving her some of the profit game wise, or it's still hers. She's still gonna get some of it. So whether you want to support that or not, it's really up to you. Just because it's not hers completely, and she's not gonna have any final say like she does with anything Harry Potter wise. So that's nice. However, she still will make money off of it. So it's really up to your own discretion of what you want to support. Do you want to support the developers of this game? Because a lot of people put their heart and soul into this game, and a lot of people love this franchise, and we should support the people who made it. However, if you feel like it's more important to you to not support J.K. Rowling, then that's fine too.
Yeah, and also I mentioned this too because I was talking, I think it was Blythe, I was actually twittering conversation with her about this because we were having a back and forth on it, and I mentioned too because I thought about it, and I asked her, she like gave me like a good answer because I didn't know about like, well then like how does that affect the theme parks and stuff like that, but supposedly she's kind of already made her money off the theme parks anyway. And she gets them back and stuff, so, like, I don't know still by principle, though, if all of a sudden people are going to leave the theme parks or not, but I'm like, you know, again, to make sure, if you're not going to fully support her, but then still go to the theme park, it's like, you're, you know, like, don't half-ass it, you know?
Wishy-washy.
Yeah, don't be like, all of a sudden, I'm going to go get my butterbeer, and then 2 months earlier, you're like, screw her, you know? Don't, you know, because, like, how am I supposed to take you seriously, right? Like, you're... and I feel like people are gonna do that. All these people. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna pry into that too much.
I saw a thing where it was like, if you want to support her, all you have to do is buy bootleg copies of the movie and buy pre-owned books.
Yeah. It's
that's like that's like the way to not support her, but to still love the universe she created.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to come out and say this, and I don't care. Again, either way you go, I'm totally with it either way. I'm not guard against either way. If you don't want to get the game, I totally get it, and I'm not gonna yell at you for it. More power to you. I am gonna still get this game, and I'll tell you why. Because it is a game I've been waiting for a long time. Yeah, she's gonna make a little bit of money off of it. The fact that she wasn't heavily involved is not shocking me at all. Because, like, yeah, she's more involved in the movies now, writing the scripts and all that, but as far as a video game goes, at most, she came and played it for a minute, and that was it. Right, and so that's not shocking to me. Again, it's part of like supporting developers and stuff too. But I love this game, and I'm not gonna let the franchise be taken away from me just because she's getting a couple of my dollars from it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's gonna be enough people that won't give her more money, and plus, she's got plenty of money anyway. She doesn't care at this point.
Oh man.
Yeah, and so I'll be getting a game. I have to, as a fan of this franchise and everything, I will be game and playing it because I've been waiting too damn long for it. I'm sorry. I've been waiting too damn long, and I'm going to play it when it comes out and all that. Now...
Yeah, I really want to support the people who made this game. I really want to support the developers.
Are you still... So are you going to get it, or are you still torn?
I'm so torn.
So torn. I know, and it's tough. I still see people like, this is a game I want, but I can't support this or whatever, but... I'm going to do it. Whether I get hate for it or not, I don't care. I love this world too much. I've been waiting too long. I'm going to get it. Now,
I think, like, what you said, though, that she does have a lot of money already. So, like, is it going to make a dent in her money? It will help the developers, though. So I am leaning more towards getting the game just for that fact.
Right, because, like, so many people are going to do it despite her anyway. But, like, and yes, people are like, well, technically the developers get paid out of contract anyway and stuff like that. And, like, that's true. But if we want this and we do want another game like this made without her...
Yes.
It's not going to help to not buy that game because all you're doing is guaranteeing that there's going to be no new Harry Potter game for who knows how long. Because look how long it took us to get this, and you're like, well, Harry Potter, that should be easily to make in a game or whatever, but not since the movies.
We did have that app for a bit, though. Do you remember the app?
Yeah, and I think it's made by the same people that worked on that, like Poor Heat Games, which is like subdivision.
It looks the same.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure it's the same people. Having said that, I personally I liked her detective novels, by the way, and this got off a tangent. I liked her detective novels a lot. But I can't say I'll be buying the next one. I can't say I'll be doing that. And I do have a Tales of Beetle Bard special edition that like has like a thing with like her signature in it and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I might depart with that too. I don't think I really need to keep that anymore. But as far as this goes, this is like, and even then, I could hope this could be the last time where I do something that kind of supports it financially as like a thank you for your service, good night kind of thing. The thing I'm hoping, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm hoping is she's going to do a Lucas sort of thing where it gets to the point where, again, she doesn't care about what we think at all. That what will happen is that she gets tired of hearing about it so much to where she's like, I'm tired of hearing people whining and complaining. I don't care what they think about it, but I'm tired of hearing all their bullshit about like what I think, and I don't care about what they think. I don't care what they think about me. I'm just going to sell it, so I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. I got all the money and just do a Lucas and sell the full rights to Warner Brothers and just get out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping would happen. I don't know if it will, but that's what I want to happen.
Wow.
And it depends. It depends, because I know she does care about it a lot, but I'm hoping that she comes to that point where she gets so annoyed by everything that she's just like, fuck it. I'm
Yeah.
But I don't know. We still got those movies on lap anyway. But yeah. So as of right now, Kendall's still on the fence. I'm more that I'm going to get it. Again, if you want to yell at me or whatever for that, that's fine. But again, if you don't get the game, I totally get it. I totally get it. Or what you could do. Now, me being me, I'll probably get it when the game comes out. But in a way to meet you halfway, Kendall, you could do this. It may make you feel less guilty. Is yes, you could wait and buy a used copy of the game somewhere, like at GameStop, or wait until it goes on sale and only pay like $40 or $20 for it, and that's less money you're giving her.
Boom! That's
there you go.
That's it. That's the move. That's the play. When you're done with it, I'll just buy it off of you.
Yeah. If I get physical copy, I don't know. I might
That's
go digital,
true,
but
yeah.
if I get physical, yeah. If I'm done and pass it on, then yeah, you can have it.
Okay,
Or
let's
I'll let you
move
know. I'll keep
on.
an eye out.
We're
I'll keep an
moving
eye out.
on.
Yeah, that was a big, and that just spurred. That's still going. That's one of the big hot topics. Like,
Ooh,
okay,
yeah,
then
there's still debates online about it.
oh, it's still going on. Then they were basically saying, hey, for a second, people were like, I got hyped too much for a second because they were like, Devil May Cry, new game, and then they're like, oh no, it's the 5th one. It's a re-release of the 5th one with extra features and stuff. So cool and all about that. But they were freaking out for a second. Then the Call of Duty thing came on. They're like free on PlayStation 4, so we go, okay. And then there might have been another game or two in the middle that I had missed for the most part. But then they kind of go into this thing, right? And they've since then confirmed this. They're not doing their own Microsoft Game Pass thing. But what they're doing is they're still having PlayStation Now. But for Game Pass, what they're doing, which is kind of cool depending on who you are, because some people are like, but we already played these games. But there's some people that haven't. For the PS5 with PlayStation Plus, it's not anything extra. You're getting pretty much all the biggest games to a certain point that were on the PlayStation 4. And I think they even said they might add in more. But like God of War, Persona 5, which I still haven't even played yet, Uncharted, Last of Us, the remaster, all these big games are adding in for free as part of the thing. And that is still a kind of a big deal for Sony to do. And I know, and then it's been confirmed too, it'll be compatible to 99% of PlayStation 4 games, but won't be compatible to PS3 or PS2, PS1 like people originally thought from way back in the day. For me, I'm not as upset by it. I mean, PlayStation Now, I can get stuff or find other ways to play those games. But certain people I can see are upset about it or whatever. But yeah, so they had this PlayStation Plus connection thing. Then they announced the pricing, and we'll get to that in a second, the pre-order fiasco. But they announced the pricing. They finally came out with it. They said, hey, digital's $400, disc is $500, which for some people thought that might be it, but they weren't sure. There was still a good chance people thought that might be $600 or like a $50 difference because it's literally just a disc drive. That's the difference. So the fact that it's $100 is a big deal, and that the digital is $400 is also a really big surprising deal because they are losing money on taking that risk. But apparently, as we'll talk about in a minute, it's going to pay off for them pretty well. So what did you think the prices? Did you think they were going to be higher or lower? Or is it about what you thought was going to be?
I thought that the console itself would be higher, 100%. I thought it would be like 600 in the 600s. However, they obviously $300, $399, $499. However, their accessory prices are so expensive that they might as well, the whole bundle is like $600, $700.
Yeah, I saw on GameStop, but yeah, it's like $600.
Yeah, it balances out to what I thought it was going to be anyway. So, there it is.
Yeah, and I mean, Gary would have made a tweet about, which was pretty fair because like Xbox, they have their version, and then they have the smaller one that's cheaper, but it is smaller. They don't have that digital only in between, excuse me, that Sony does have, which is an advantage there in a way. Clearly, it's an advantage. We'll talk about in a second. But yeah, they told that. But yeah, so then they finally gave us a price. Because originally the thing was like scheduled to be 40 minutes. It then went longer. It went longer than originally said it was going to. Then at the very end, they're like, and one. I don't want to say racistly, but as Uncle would say, one more thing. And they teased, and then the little thing came up. God of War Ragnarok's happening, and not only is it happening, but next year. That's crazy. Next year.
We have a sequel coming next year.
Nobody knew it was coming next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a quick turnaround. People thought for a second, too, afterwards, like, oh, is it going to be a Miles thing where it's like in between stories? Like, no, apparently they've been working on the second one, like, right after the first one came out. Holy bananas. No one expected it this soon.
Yeah, it's only been like 2 years.
Yeah. Again, Kendall, that's what we're talking about. 2021 is going to be in the same year. You have God of War, Horizon, and Harry Potter all in the same year.
All in the
same year.
It's crazy.
Also, a couple extra things they confirmed. Horizon, which this is surprising. Horizon 2 is going to be on PS4. Which is surprising. Nobody expected that, I don't think, and that's really weird. So really, all we know for sure is like Ratchet and Clank, and there's Miles, and like one more that's only on PS5. But Demon Souls. That was the other one they showed. Yeah. That's one's gonna be like next gen. But otherwise, it was like Horizon's a little late or whatever. But yes, launch day they're gonna have like Astrobot, Miles, Demon Souls is a launch day game as well. So there's a few decent ones there and variety.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, if somebody was not into Demon Souls at all and could care less about the game, it looked pretty good. It looked better than the Final Fantasy one did.
It's just like another one for me where all I did was sit next to someone and watch them play the game.
Yeah, it's not. I even tried Bloodborne, which is supposed to be the more getaway into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nope. Looks cool though.
Looks good. Everything looks good. Everything they announced looks good. Except for their prices.
So for the most part, Kendall, it sounds like too for a lot of these games that you would consider like at least trying them some out or something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm into all these games, whether that be watching or playing.
Yeah, it was over a Globe conference. It got some hype. Again, a lot of these little details was weird that got leaked after. They didn't even mention the pre-order in the conference. We found out through like Jeff Keighley and tweets. And this is where all hell breaks loose. So we haven't got to the crazy part yet. This is where all hell breaks loose. Because, Kendall, if you recall earlier, they were like, we're gonna, it's not gonna be a last minute thing. We'll tell you ahead of time where pre-orders go up and things like that. We're not gonna do this at the last second or whatever. But then they didn't do that. They did it all at the last second. they did the exact opposite of that. And they were talking about, it was a clusterfuck of a mess. They're like, pre-orders. Pre-orders, they might do pre-orders tomorrow. Oh no, it looks like maybe today. Oh, it looks like then Walmart, bam, Walmart hit. Walmart, and then Best Buy, and Target, Amazon. We're gonna wait a little bit. Okay, now we're good. And then today, as the day of this recording, I haven't gotten that email yet, but some lucky people that signed up to get notification got a chance to get it through the actual PlayStation online site. Like if you sign up for it, which I did. I still haven't got an email on it yet as of this moment. But yeah, all hell broke loose. Chaos. People have this, that. Everywhere you go, solid 10 seconds. People claiming bots, all this stuff. For some reason, as I recall, Kendall, I don't know about you, but I got an impression before all this madness happened that people were kind of like 50-50, but maybe more like a 60-40 in favor of getting the one with the disc as far as one without the disc. But it apparently doesn't seem like that. Half those people were full of shit because all the digital ones are being sold out like hockey. And granted, both are being sold out, granted. But the first one to go is digital. And somebody like me who's ready to go get the digital, I'm like, come on, guys, what are you doing to me here? Again, bots are a factor here. We have seen stuff, as you mentioned, with the graphics card. Bots selling online eBay for way exuberant prices. That's also making people upset. I, as of this moment, somehow got a physical one on Amazon. At the moment, pre-ordered. I don't know if I'm going to fully go through with it or not, but I have it. But even then, as update today as well, they've sent out an email. I've gotten an email that they said all the Amazon PS5 pre-orders, you might not get them the opening day. Just to let you know. Yeah. So, Kendall, what do you make all this madness? Are you getting a PlayStation? Which one are you getting? Are you going to try? Where you go? What's going on? What do you think about all this craziness?
I'm going to stay with the PC, but I can assure you that my sister is probably going to get the PS5, which means I will have a PS5 available. But we're probably not going to get any of the accessories at all.
Well, you got to at least get a controller because they say you can't use PS4.
That's true. You can't use the PS4. So we do have to spend $70 on that for sure. But probably just one.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, I mean, talking about like the RTX was back because it was a one overnight thing, but even like each day, it's just like you're just constantly looking for announcement. There's no prelude. Oh, heck broke loose. I mean, again, it all started with Walmart. You get just when you think Walmart slowly kind of come irrelevant, nobody talks about it anymore. Boom. I mean, how like, I don't know how to, and then of course Xbox was like, ho ho ho, we're gonna tell you ahead of time, not fuck this up. But how did this happen? How did this get so effed up?
Dude, it really did though. It really, really did. These last 2 weeks have been, whoo, man, whoo boy.
Yeah, and it's, oh my gosh, yeah, and they have a charging station which is 30.
Yeah.
The camera is 60, a remote for 30, the wireless headset which is 100, which is supposed to be like a 3D.
3D audio support.
Yeah.
For $100.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yep. Maybe I'll get the charging station, to be fair, because like I never got one, but like now with the cabling and all wonky, I might get the charging station.
Might as well. I mean, that one's only $30.
But I'm not getting
$30.
I'm not gonna. Another thing too is like, I don't know how. I don't know what did the last gen stuff, but as far as like game capture software for the next gen, I don't know when that's coming. I don't know if that's gonna be like right when things come out or not. I don't know. So as far as streaming all that crap goes, I don't even know how that's gonna work. But yeah, so I have it set just to have it. Ideally, I do want the digital. If it comes up, I'll drop the other one fast. But again, I still don't know if I want to make the call or not. And you know, I never get consoles right when they come out. I usually wait a year or so. But I don't know. Some about this, all the craziness around it. I was like, just want to see if I can do it for my own peace of mind. Again, I'm still thinking about Switch 2 and stuff like that, and I don't know. It's crazy though. It's crazy. And just watching people come by, and by the second, by the second, and it's like, again, even today, it's like you look, it's like, oh, it's on this site, and then you look and it's already gone, and people are like, how is this happening? How is this happening? It's chaotic. It's insane. But again, they said they're going to come out with more stuff and things like that. Although, the other big thing is, too, is they're saying they have a way smaller stock of digital than physical. So that makes me wonder, like, you know, if the digital, if you don't get it this first round, if that's it. I don't know. Because, yeah, I'd rather pay for the cheaper one, but take what you can get, I guess. I don't know. It just, again, it's crazy. All those people are like, split on. All of a sudden, it's like, nope, everybody's buying digital. It's like, come on, guys. Really? We're all you that said that you were kind of whatever on it. You're all full of crap. Yeah, a bunch of jerks. But yeah, so Amazon said it might arrive after launch day. Not sure when, but just give us a heads up. It really just kind of depends. Also, as a bonus, just to throw this in here for you, there is a list of confirmed games that will be free upgrades to the PS5. Just to read off this list for some of y'all. Some we know, some are kind of new. Assassin's Creed, new Assassin's Creed,
hey!
Borderlands 3,
okay,
Black Ops Cold War.
Yep.
Unless you only have the standard edition, you have to pay a $10 extra fee.
That's okay.
For some reason. Control, we know the disaster messed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk, we already knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Dead by Daylight, Destiny 2, Dirt 5, Doom Eternal, Far Cry 6, which is weird because that's like games that are not even out yet.
I was about to say.
Which is interesting. So they're already including games that are not yet to become out, assuming some people haven't upgraded, because Horizon Forbidden West is also on there. GTA 5, FIFA 21, Immortals Phoenix Rising. Again, it's not even out yet. Little Nightmares 2, Kenna, which is the Pixar that we got told was delayed. Avengers, Madden, Miles Morales, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, NBA, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, which I'm curious what that is. Rainbow Six Siege, Riders Republic, Sackboy, Elder Scrolls Online, Witcher 3, Watch Dogs Legion, and WRC. And so that's interesting about this, Kendall. A lot of these games are not even coming out yet. Some even to next year. Do you find that surprising that they would go that far with like giving free upgrades to people?
I think it kind of...
Because usually it's like once a new one comes out, like in the past, the first like few games that came out were cross-gen, right? But they wouldn't have like free-gen upgrades or anything like that. But this time they're like, I guess all cross-gen games are going to be free upgrades.
Yeah, what if they're really just trying to sell the PS5 and they think that the way to do it is to give free upgrades?
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm still seeing a lot of people because it's being like, well, then I'll need to get the PS5 now. I can wait. If I'm gonna, I can just get on PS4 and know I get that free upgrade later.
That's true, but
You know,
I don't know, man. Maybe they're just trying to account for the pandemic.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, that's good. You know, to have nice know that Cyberpunk could get upgraded or whatever and stuff like that. I guess it just. But then again, extends. I feel like it's extending longer that cross-gen transition. Because usually, you know, again, like the first couple months, you have some cross-gen ones, but then by the next year, you expect, okay, they're fully transitioned over, but it seems they're not. Not even maybe until the second half of next year. Like, what's the first? I mean, besides, you know, like Ratchet and Clank and maybe Demon Souls, like, how many games are we gonna have next year that are not cross-gen? Like, maybe it's like God of War gonna be the first. I mean, even the fact that Horizon is surprising that's cross-gen to me.
It makes you think, makes you wonder, for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, PlayStation just was dormant for a bit. It came in hot and all kinds of chaos, and I can't even see till next week what's gonna happen next with pre-orders and stuff like that. It's gonna be a continuing story. But yes, it's coming out in November. So I assume there'll be some sort of game capturing software because all the streamers are going to be playing it. So there's got to be something. I know with all the RTX cards, a lot of people got that ahead of time. It was having fun with that, showing that off. But yeah, guys. So I do have one right now. So we'll see and play by ear and see how it goes. I'll keep you all updated with that. But in the meantime, I think we'll wrap up the stream here with the PlayStation thing. Next week, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure we'll have something.
Oh, for sure. There's going to be something every week.
Yeah, something every week. Something's coming in, happen words. I can't think of words. In the meantime, as we're wrapping things up, guys, we want to remind you to be sure to subscribe to the channel first off on the YouTube. Spread the word about the YouTube. There's also audio options. You can go with Buzzsprout. You can go to Spotify. You can go Stitcher. Hopefully, there'll be some more audio locations soon as well. All that will be in the links down in the description if you need it. So be sure to follow that. Like all the videos as well. Comments on you've had things. Give us some feedback, please. Spread the word. We have 5 subscribers now, but we ideally want to keep that number going. It's a decent start, but we can do a lot better than that. We can do this. Also, be sure, as you wrap things up, spread the word for us and Kendall for G4 hosts. Let them know, hey, we're interested. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Show them an episode of the podcast. But hey, look what these guys can do. Look at the quality content they got. Follow me and Kendall as well.
Where can we find you?
Twitter at, well, thank you for asking me. Twitter at Willden. Twitch, Willden. Twitch.tv/Willden1990 and Instagram Willden1990. That's Willden with 2 L's, Willden. Also, links for that will be down below. Kendall, where people can find you at?
You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Lady Kendall. That's LadyKendall. I don't know how to spell my own name. DOLL.
There you go. Yeah. And also, Kendall, though, you got a few more other things going on.
God. Yeah.
What else is going on? You're doing more podcasts. You got clothing, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So I have this podcast with Willden. What? I just wrapped up season 2 of a D&D podcast. If you're into that, go listen to that. That's rollforitpod.com. And also, I'm about to launch a Kickstarter for a clothing apparel line for nerds. So we're going to have a bunch of options for you guys. It's going to be mostly minimalistic stuff. If you're into that, not really wanting to show, your nerdy side, but still wanting to show off your nerdy side. You know what I'm saying? That's called New Game Start. And I'll let you guys know when that launches.
Yeah, when it's launched, we'll make sure to put the link in the YouTubes and we'll spread the word on Twitter's all that for you. I'll try to make sure, too, to put the Roll For It podcast link as well in the description so you guys can check that out and listen to it. I've listened to part of an episode. I know it's only part of our episode. I haven't gotten to the rest of it. I want to listen to the rest of it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's pretty funny seeing Kendall like trying to be like, you know, be a character sort of thing. It's really very interesting. It's very entertaining. And they have cool like behind the scenes, all kinds of stuff going on there. So be sure to check it out as well. In the meantime, guys, we're gonna wrap it up, and we'll see you next week on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.